कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आधार जीवनाला जग कृपेचा तू मजला प्रसाद दे तू जीवनाला जगण्यास दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला सहजात आई आलो पदरात घे तू मजला सहजात आई आलो पदरात घे तू मजला ध्यानात न्हालो तुझिया ध्यानात न्हालो तुझिया दिव्यात ने तू मजला ध्यानात न्हालो तुझिया दिव्यात ने तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला कलकी तुझेच रूप आदि शक्ती स्वरूप कलकी तुझेच रूप आदि शक्ती स्वरूप ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश अल्लाह रहीम राम ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश अल्लाह रहीम राम आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला जगण्यास दे तू मजला आधार जीवनाला जगण्यास दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला आधार जीवनाला जगण्यास दे तू मजला आधार जीवनाला जगण्यास दे तू मजला आई तुझ्या कृपेचा प्रसाद दे तू मजला प्रसाद दे तू मजला प्रसाद दे तू मजला निर्विचारिता दे दे मां श्री निर्मला निर्विचारिता दे दे मां श्री निर्मला निर्विचारिता दे दे मां एककार अनुभूति के लिए एककार अनुभूति के लिए निर्विचारिता दे दे मां एककार अनुभूति के लिए सामीप्य सदा रहे माँ कुंडलनी माँ निर्मल माँ सानिध्य सामीप्य सदा रहे माँ निर्विचारिता दे दे माँ श्री निर्मला निर्विचारिता दे दे माँ एककार अनुभूति के लिए निर्विचारिता दे दे
Jashmadi, everyone. Welcome to today's evening meditation. We'll start the evening with some balancing, and then we'll listen to a mother's talk, which talks about how to know where you are. And then we'll finish off the evening with some meditation, and we'll play the music for people who want to continue to meditate. We can all bow down to Mother and raise our Kundalini collectively. You can keep our right hand on the Mother Earth, left hand towards Mother. We'll take the mantra of Shri Mahakali Sakshat, Shri Kala Bhairav Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahakali Sakshat Shri Kala Bhairav Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Let's move our attention through the left channel, right from the Muladhara up to the Arya Chakra. You can bring our right hand on the lap, left hand towards the sky. We'll take the mantra of Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat, Shri Hanuman Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahasaraswati Sakshat Shri Hanuman Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Just keep our attention on the right channel. We can bring our left hand back on the lap. Let's put our attention on the central channel. We'll take the mantra of Shri Mahalakshmi Sakshat, Shri Mahaganesh Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Sakshat Shri Mahaganesh Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. This is basically a video with all the mantras to kill the negativities. I'm just going to play the video. We can just keep our attention on the Sahasrara. If you would want to say the mantra, then you can do so as well.
बाधानाशक मंत्र. शत्रुमर्दिनी. ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् शत्रुमर्दिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. श्री अंबिका देवी. ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री अंबिका देवी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. मधुसूदन. ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् मधुसूदन साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। तारकासुर संहन्त्री ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् तारकासुर संहन्त्री साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। निशुम्भ शुम्भ संहन्त्री ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् निशुम्भ शुम्भ संहन्त्री साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री दुर्गा माता जगदम्बा ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री दुर्गा माता जगदम्बा साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री रक्षाकरी ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री रक्षाकरी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। राक्षसग्नि ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् राक्षसग्नि साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री चामुण्डा ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री चामुण्डा साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। मधुकैटभहन्त्री ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् मधुकैटभहन्त्री साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। नरकान्तक ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् नरकान्तक साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री शिवशक्तिपुत्र कार्तिकेय ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री शिवशक्तिपुत्र कार्तिकेय साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री कार्तिकेय ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कार्तिकेय साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। सर्वासुरमर्दिनी ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् सर्वासुरमर्दिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। सर्वबाधा विनाशिनी त्वमेव साक्षात् सर्वबाधाविनाशिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। सर्व असत्य गुरुमर्दिनी ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् सर्व असत्य गुरुमर्दिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। सर्वभयहारिणी रुद्ररूपा ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् सर्वभयहारिणी रुद्ररूपा साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
I'm going to play this talk of Srimati Ji, which talks about how to know where you are. It's an audio talk, so you can continue to meditate, or you can just listen. Just one.
Connections get loose. But how we can correct it, we should try to understand that. First of all, we must realize that you are not to think about it. If you start thinking too much about it, then you have seen that you do something funny, which you should not have done. Do not plan out too much about it also. Because in this country, if people start planning out, they'll get all the planning done. For example, they have to go for a walk. Then they must have proper shoes, they must have proper sticks, they must have this, they must have that, and they must have gloves, and they must have everything, and they never go out. They are so exhausted with the planning itself. In the same way, it happens with Sahaj Yoga. Now, get in. Move forward. It very much happens the same way with Sahaj Yoga. I have seen that, though I have told you not to plan it out, not to think about it, still you go on doing it. And that is how you get into problems. That by thinking you cannot correct yourself. What you can do is to know that you can put bandhans, or you can give yourself a balance with your hands. You have to move your hands and not your brain. All right? Our brains are moving and hands and feet never move. And out of proportion our brains are moving. But our hands and feet do not move. This is the society which H.G. Wells had described. I can see it very clearly, that you have more brains than your deftness and your understanding. Your fingers are not so sensitive, and the brain leads you to artificiality. So you are not to use your thinking for correcting your chakras. Now should I write it down in golden words? That you cannot think about it and sort it out. This is one thing people do not understand. I think you better take him away because little restless, all right? Now we have got mantras for different chakras. Every chakra has got a mantra which you know. If you do not know, you should find out. Now, if one chakra is scratching, then you work on that chakra only and develop your mantra on that. For example, supposing you have to say something for your heart, then first of all you must ask for forgiveness from God. That means your attention has not been so much as it should have been on the spirit. Or if you have done any mistakes, ask for forgiveness. You ask for forgiveness. Now, you ask for forgiveness from your heart. Even doing with hand can be artificial. You understand that. It could be just ritualistic, but from your heart. Whatever you have to say, you say it from your heart. Ask for forgiveness from your heart. Not think about it. You see, this is the trouble is. If I say something, then you start thinking about it. And then you said that now I have to take out my attention from the center. And then you start taking out your attention. You cannot. With your brain, you cannot take out your attention from anywhere to anywhere. It's only through your hands or movement of your hands or by saying mantras you bring in. Do you understand that point? Absolutely clear cut. Many people think that if they pay attention to something and pull their attention, you cannot. But what you can do is to, when you are saying the mantra, put your attention without thought to that particular chakra. So you master that chakra ultimately. The one which is a weakness can become your mastery. But if you think, then you are catching again the heart much more. You have known that by thinking you catch your right side in the sense that it starts overactive, gets overactivated, and left side gets frozen up, by which heart is catching. Your ego develops, which engulfs your heart. So the more you think about it, how to correct your ego, the worse you are. You fight it. So then we know that we have to give a balance, bring down your ego with your hand. With massaging, you can bring it down. Because in your hand it is flowing. Whether you are catching or not catching, it is flowing from your hand is there. The flow from your hand is there. You may not even receive from me, but there is flow already started. It's germinated. Little bit is always there. Use that to massage your head, bring down your ego. Then for heart also. Do not think about it, but give it. Or you put your hand towards it. Direct the vibrations, but don't think at that time. This is the important thing. If you are thinking and directing, this cannot be directed because your attention is engulfed in the thinking process. Do you understand that point? And here the problem is people think too much and talk too much. I mean, they talk about everything. They know everything. Such a wasteful habits of thinking and then talking about it. Everybody is a monarchy because of ego. So now please tell your ego, you please keep shut. Now we know you too well. Try to push it back as much as you can, with force sometimes. Bring it back like that. Try to bring it to its normal position. And you'll be amazed once it goes to its normal position. You'll feel very much lighter. So this is to be done with your hand. You can use oil to rub, or On your body, if you have to rub, you can use even powder or anything for having less friction. But it is through massage, through giving bandhans, by taking it out, or through limbu, or you can use even an orange or something like that. Try to take out these vibrations through these mediums and not through thinking. Through thinking you cannot do it. Once you think, you have no power over yourself. There's a barrier between the spirit and you. Because you are thinking through your ego. You must have noticed many a times when I tell you that this you should not have done. So you said, I know. You see, this is something I can't understand. When you know that this should not have been done, then why are you doing it? Now, which is that I which knows? Is your spirit. Or which is that is doing it against it? Is your ego. So, identification should be with spirit, and spirit does not think. It manifests. So you cannot sort it out through your thinking. It's all false and faulty life. Anything you do with thinking, it will be all faulty. Now why you people in this country have lost your deftness in the hands? For the same reason. If I ask a question, say on some art, people can tell me a lot about art. But if you tell them even to hold a brush in their hands, they cannot. In any art, any deftness or anything, they think. That's how the creativity, the spontaneity is finished, by thinking. And that's why you must have seen the people those days who producing art is also so horrible that within 20 years all these artistic pieces will die out. They will have no value. All these are produced in these. I see them every day. It's so-called modern art and all that. The real modern art can only be done by a person who has got his spirit manifesting. Like Blake. The one whose spirit is not manifesting, whether he is a poet or whether he is an artist or anything, whatever he is doing is going to finish in no time, has no value. Because it cannot give happiness to spirit. It can only give happiness outside. So do everything in silence, not thinking, in thoughtless awareness. That's the main point. How much you pamper your ego, you just see morning till evening. It's very simple to see in life. We try to be angry and in temper, or sometimes try to be very, very gentle, and sometimes very, very humble to look at, just to please that ego of ours, not to ourselves, the spirit. Now just fighting your spirit, you are not fighting your ego, you are not going to achieve much, as I have told you. Just do not accept its existence. It doesn't exist for you any longer. Does not exist. Ego is only existent in God because He does something. You do not do. That's why it's a myth. Your ego is a myth. You have no ego. It's a myth. And you are carrying on with the myth. Now, ego in a man is nonsense. Ego in God is all sense. Now, when you are facing the photograph, just to check up yourself, humble down yourself. First of all, humble down. Like a person who wants to perfect oneself. Before the photograph, you humble down yourself and try to find out what's wrong with you. Best thing is to give yourself a bandhan. Don't think again. Humble down means try to bring down your attention to your heart. Humble down. Bring it down to your heart. Don't think. Now you put attention to the photograph without thinking and see for yourself what chakras are catching. One should not immediately jump into conclusion, oh yes, I am catching for this, I am catching for that, I am catching for another person, and all this nonsense is not needed. You need not take it to a rationality to judge it, why you are catching. That's not important for us. It is catching. All right. So do not go on a trip of thinking. I can ask, you need not. If you are checking other people, then it's all right because you can tell them what is to be done. But then you find something now left is catching. So now you know that this is because of your guilt. Whichever is built in your subconscious, you are catching on the left. It could be due to anything because you didn't have proper sense of morality. That's the basics. Left Vishuddhi is immoral. If you have been immoral, you get this, basics. Then sisters relationship. Then guilt that is built in the subconscious. If you become immoral, in the subconscious the guilt is built. Any such guilt can come as any other guilt. Like you see, the real guilt is due to something else, but people express it as something else. All right. So do not worry as to what guilt you have got. I never tell you what guilt you have got, if you remember it correctly. Never I tell you that you should say that you have got this guilt. Many people tell me that I have got a guilt that there is war in Vietnam or some sort of a nonsense, or my forefathers went to Argentina and killed many Indians. All this is nonsense. You see. The guilt is a subconscious action, is what you call the conditioning in the left. When there is some sort of a immoral behavior that is done, even you may not be knowing what is morality. See, if you do not know dharmas, might be something you are doing which you should not have done. So forget about it, detach yourself. The one who has committed mistake is your ego, not you. You are pure because you are spirit. So don't condemn yourself for that. You are not to bother. For example, if there is defect in the instrument, there is no defect in the electricity. Electricity is pure. It is not carried out because there is defect in the instrument. So we have to correct the instrument. Now, if you think you are the electricity, you can correct it, but if you think you are the instrument, you can never correct it. Because again you go to your subconscious, try to find out, oh, what things I must have done. It could be from your previous lives also. It could be you might have caught it by saying something very filthy which you do not remember. So do not tax your mind. We are not psychoanalysts at all. To find out psychologically what is wrong with us by asking questions and this and troubling yourself too much with ego. Psychologists only think of the left, but they don't know when you try to do that, you develop your ego. When you start thinking about it from where this has come, immediately you develop the ego of a person. And the person goes on to the ego trip, and which is even more dangerous than subconscious problem. Because people who have ego trouble the whole community, while those who are superego only trouble themselves. People with ego are much more dangerous and troublesome than the people with superego. So you just first of all see what is the matter with you. Now left Vishuddhi is catching. Alright. So that means you are the Kundalini is not properly going through the left Vishuddhi. Alright? Then you be attached to your spirit. Try to attach yourself to your spirit. Then you clear it out. I see like that. Supposing I am the spirit and you are the body. I see my spirit and I see your spirit. I am not bothered what you have got. In the same way you see yourself in two ways. That you are the spirit and you are not the body or the mind or anything. So we have to clear it. They are paroksha, they are different. They are another. We have to correct it. As electricity is separated from this instrument, in the same way you are separated from your spirit. But this separateness must be understood in meditation. That's why meditation is necessary. For meditating, you should say that, Mother, make me the Spirit. I am the Spirit. Mother, I am the Spirit. You start seeing through the eyes of the Spirit everything. Then you do not feel bad. You laugh at yourself, make fun of yourself, and then you enjoy yourself, you live with yourself, you play with yourself, you joke with yourself, and the whole thing becomes a joke. But for this, when you meditate, you find out first of all what is the matter with you. But not mentally you resolve it. Through your vibrations and mantras. Mantras are very important for Sahaja Yogis. If these mantras could be said loudly is better in the beginning. That is why in privacy you can do all these things. In your room you can work it out. Now you can use lemons, you can use water, you can use light, you can use ether, akash, you can use sea. All these things you can use to cleanse yourself. Once you start facing yourself through your spirit, you won't be so frightened. Because you do not want to face yourself, you are all the time in that mood of frightened fear. But once you start facing, you'll be amazed that really you are beautiful. And all these things will drop out. So there is no need to condemn yourself in any way or to elate yourself, but just be your spirit. The best way to be with your spirit is to forgive. Forgive. Because then your thoughts will go away. I mean, here there are people with superego, but as soon as you remove their superego, they get into ego very fast. I've seen it. I mean, they are really basically egos. Actually, as if from the horse they have fallen for a while, and as soon as you take them away, they lift them, they just jump onto the horse again. It's like that. So one has to be very careful about this point. Now when you meditate, how much time? Again you are thinking. All this meticulousness, if you try, then again you are thinking. You just take a proper place to sit down, keep the photograph before you, and just feel your vibrations. Where are you catching? Alright, then you know how to remove your catches. Without thinking, try to do that. Then say the mantras on different chakras wherever you are catching, first of all. First of all, ascertain them. Need not say all the mantras. Only say the mantras in that part with your heart. Remove your badhas with your hand and movement as you know them, and it would work out. Then take her out because it's very congested just now, no? For children. She'll be better off. Too much for her to face. The less you think, the faster you move with your realization. This is the blessings of Indians. That's why you can ask Ray what he has to say about Sahaja. They don't think much. Now see my cook, whom I wanted to teach cooking. In 1 year he learned, one month he learned how to cook very well. But I can tell you, I cannot teach you people for 6 months. Even I don't know if I can teach you that much, even in 1 year. Because very few thing will go into the brain, and then come to the hand is also difficult. You discuss anything, say planning of the room, everybody will be arguing. Without thinking that just receive the thing, let's see what it is, everybody will start arguing. In the same way, if you have to learn how to be a spirit, do not argue it out. Do not think about it. Just try to become. You have to become. You have to become. Now I have understood your basic problem is that everything you want to sort out with your brain, you don't want to use your hands, and that's why the inertia is setting in. People are becoming lethargic, you see. Unless until you move physically, how the inertia is going to go out? Not through your brain. So reduce your thinking. Do not try to sort out things through your thinking. It will give you a serenity, kind of a peaceful existence. While talking to each other, better to whisper. Talk slowly. In my presence, you shouldn't shout and talk loudly. In a very whispering way. It's a silence in which you are here. Normally people talk as if, say, I'm just a housewife or something. One should understand that's not the way to talk. Because then you are missing the point. You are playing with my Maya, which you should not come into. Try to each other also, because you are saints. Do not quarrel and argue. Reduce your arguments to minimum and minimum. Moreover, find out all the ways by which your mind goes out and stop it. Try to stop that. Because now your mind has thought for at least 7 lives ahead. You don't need any more thinking. You've done enough. Whatever brain God has given you, you have so much bashed it that now better leave it alone and don't think. Then the inspiration will come to you from within. And when the inspiration will be coming, then you will find it will be very different. It will be very beautiful. Absolutely beautiful it will. I think if you read Zen, I'm not saying go and read. Immediately you'll buy 10 books and start reading. For heaven's sake, don't. I'm just telling you that if you read Zen, you won't understand, normally. People won't understand. They'll just describe like a little flower standing lonely alone in the woodlands. They go see and enjoy it and see that identification of loneliness, that God is alone, He has no companion, He cannot share. But you cannot, you will think about it, put words on it and make something nonsense out of it. But they'll enjoy, just enjoy. They'll make a pattern out of some stones and some sand. And I've seen all Americans and all other people who go there, they say, what is this? What is this? What is this? It is a pattern to neutralize your thoughts. That you go into thoughtless awareness, you just see the pattern without thinking. You try to see at least my face without thinking, which my face itself makes you thoughtless. If you watch my face, it makes you thoughtless. So you watch my face without thinking. On the photograph you can watch my face without thinking. And it will work out. Try to make yourself thoughtless. That's the first stage you have not achieved. And you jump onto that. For no rhyme and reason. You jump onto that thought business. This is the only quality difference between you and Indians. They do not think about it. They just imbibe. Have you seen a child being nursed? It doesn't think, it's just sucking and enjoy. What they say is to take attention inside. But if you tell anybody here, they will say we are pulling our inside attention. With your brain you will be trying all tricks and doing nothing. Is to silence yourself. Silence your mind. And a serene atmosphere is there, which you feel around, which I feel very much in India. Here also sometimes it sets in within you. during puja time and all that. At the puja time, now it's much better. Before, they used to quarrel early in the morning. Before puja, big quarrel is on. And then the puja would start. I wouldn't know what to do with that kind of a puja. And the main thing is that we have to be one with ourselves. Without knowing the Atma, you cannot know God. You have to know your spirit. Once that beautiful personality is developed within you, people will know that you are spirit. If you think less, every work you will do will be good. I have seen, you ask somebody to connect one, say, pipe to another pipe. They cannot. There will be leakage, there will be some problem. Because you are not connecting it without thinking. See, Douglas has that now capacity. He doesn't think. You have seen how much he has improved. He doesn't think much. He just does. And that's why he's come up in Sahaja Yoga. Though he had gone down very much. He knows that very well. But how? By not thinking, he has come up. You people are overdeveloped. So try to stop your brain acting anymore and just make it humbler. All these, you see, ideas of hippism and is all that is actually the consciousness, awareness of this overdeveloped mind. But just by wearing dresses or living like hippies or by taking drugs, you cannot stop this brain thinking. Sahaja Yoga is the only way. And balancing yourself. Also, there are many other things which help you. For example, physical things, you must learn dieting. What diet is needed for that? What exercise is needed for what kind of a thing? Get to it. Now I'm going away for a month. You have to work it out. Actually, unless and until you impress others whom you are addressing or whom you are going to meet, with that kind of love and that kind of serenity, nobody is going to believe. Secondly, what impresses people the most? Do you know that? What does it impress? Even if it is false, impresses people very much. Simplicity. Simplicity of character, of thought. Does it impress? Even if it is false, impresses people very much. Simplicity. Simplicity of character, of talking, of dressing up. Simplicity. Even say, if you are a dandily dressed person, people know you are dandily dressed. Even if you are, say, wearing a jean and making a thing as if you do not care for a suit and all that, still you are trying to impose something. But if you just wear a normal, simple dress, dress up in a simple way, absolutely in normal way, people are amazed at you. How can you be that normal, so simple? And the second thing that impresses people is what you have sacrificed for Sahaja Yoga or for anything that you are doing. How much you are dedicated to yourself. Not what you have achieved out of it, but what you have sacrificed. That's very important. The second point is very important, what you have sacrificed. You see, if you read what Indians write or even you people write and all that, is that mother has all the comfort of her own, she has a family of her own, she has her grandchildren, but she's so much interested in us. She comes here and she doesn't mind anything. And she sacrifices all her time, all her enjoyment for us. She enjoys our company. She wants to be with us. I have many ways by which people get impressed, but you people try to sacrifice something out of you. While you have noticed that some of you have been really parasitic. This is another thing which people will be shocked. The gurus also, obviously, they do not show. In the beginning they will show that they are very sacrificing. They have sacrificed their families, they are wearing a kashaya vastra, they have become a sadhu and they have given up everything. All these lamas have impressed people with that. Of course that's falsehood, we are not going to take to falsehood. But in our life, if we are sacrificing, doing things for others, every time if you weigh how much they have done. So for example, if I start weighing how much the English people have worked out Sahaja Yoga compared to others, and then I start paying you according to what you have done, giving you that much time as it is should be given to you, immediately my work will not give me satisfaction. I can't, I'm too sincere. I'm too genuine, I just cannot get out of my genuineness or sincerity, I just cannot. You people have that much freedom. I don't have any of this. This is my nature. I just can't help it. Whether you come up or not till the last breath of my life, I'll work hard on. But to make it easier for me and enjoyable for you, you must try to work in a way where there is no thinking. You cannot understand me through thinking, can you? How far can you go with thinking? Only you'll go mad. So just don't think about it. Develop serenity within you. And no superiority complex is needed. You have got realization. Others will also get it. Maybe others may be better than you are today. You will see that dignity and serenity coming into you once you realize that you are the spirit. Realization never means that from your brain. With my brain, if I realize that I am the Queen of England, I cannot become. I have to realize within me, means it should actualize within me that I am the Queen. It's an actualization. It's not just thinking, just believing into something. It is the nature, the very nature it should be. Because actually you are the spirit. Your nature is the spirit. You are nothing but the spirit. The time has come for all the manifestation of the spirit. And all these superficial and silly, stupid things that you are doing through your brain, drop it out.
We can take the three great Mahamantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Sahasrahar Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo. We can all bow down to Mother and raise our Kundalini collectively. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll play music for people who would want to continue to meditate. Jai Shri Mataji. Jeshmadi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to close the meeting now. Jeshmadi.